All right, here we go. Get comfy in your seats if you're not already. Feet on a surface. Might it be the floor or something else that's helping you connect to the floor. And if you can, back away from the chair a little bit, meaning you're sitting a little bit more upright. You can always have a pillow back behind you to help give a little extra support so that you're able to sit upright versus being reclined. It's just a little bit harder to get that full expansion of the breath. I'm actually going to keep it there because it kind of feels nice this morning. All right, let's start with that bit of mindful movement. We'll drift your shoulders up towards your ears on your in-breath. An active conscious doing, and then relax them back and down, your conscious relaxation. If you'd like a few more, you're welcome to continue. If you are ready to settle in, just let those shoulders drop away, the ears will rise up. And we'll start with that embodiment practice. Can you feel the connection of your feet to the ground? Maybe through your big toes, your outer toe, your heel. Moving up to awareness of the sensation of the chair resting on the back of your thighs, to your sit bones. Does it feel like one sit bone feels a little bit heavier or weighted than the other? And if you notice that, what do you have to do to find more of a centered space? Call that home plate, home base. And then we're going to rise up as though each vertebrae, each part of your spine was just getting a little bit more space between the next. Even through the back of the neck, top of the head rising. And then once you're there, watch out for that chin wanting to lift. Just draw it in just a little bit. And we can be tall without being rigid. When we get rigid, the ribcage starts to tighten up. You get tall and then just ease out a little bit. Continue following that awareness of noticing maybe the sounds from outside of your space. You have the windows open, the door. Transition that awareness to the sounds inside your space. Sound of your own breath. Sensation of the air flowing in and out the tips of the nostrils. And notice that temperature drifting to the back of the throat versus the temperature that's exiting towards your upper lip. And if you'd like, we'll place right hand over lower belly, left hand over heart space. Now as you're breathing in, allow the lower hand or the belly space to expand. It doesn't have to be big and huge. And exhale, let it float back towards your center. So that as you're breathing in and out, you're almost just noticing the lower hand moving where the upper hand is not moving as much. There are certainly certain breath practices where we do want to lift the chest a little bit. There's a time and place for everything. But for right now, just that lower belly and that lower hand moving as you breathe in and out. Two more conscious breaths here as we connect with your body. All right. With your next exhale, just letting go of that rhythm. Let your hands rest back down and just notice how you feel. Just take in what that breath did for you, if anything. All right, before we go any farther, we'll set this intention for the day. I know it's well into the morning, but Maybe you haven't set an intention. So how might you show up today towards yourself, towards each other, or towards the planet? Or something that encompasses all three, like compassion or abundance or gratitude. We'll try, maybe I'll set an intention for the practice, and for you all to just practice without, with contentment for whatever you can do today and wherever you are in this space right now. All right, if the palms are not already together, let's meet there in the center, spread those fingers, and we'll start to bring, if the thumbs can come towards your center, great. If they need to be away, that's okay too. A little bit of pressure as you push those hands together, feel the elbows spread out, the spine lift. Okay, from that rise up, we're gonna lift until it doesn't feel good to lift anymore. And then we'll send it out to cactus arms, draw the shoulder blades back in together. Good. And then we're gonna meet back in the center. The other way. Rise up, a little bit of pressure. Cactus arms. Last one. Great. We're gonna head back the opposite direction. Rise up. Meet the palms without looking at them. It's a good practice to know where your body is in space. Back through the center. 2 more. We'll be back in the center, a little bit of pressure, press those elbows out, just lift the spine. All right, we'll go ahead and clasp the hands, let go of that effort. We'll just swim through figure 8. Get some wrist range of motion, elbow, shoulders. All right, we'll come back to center and pause there and head the other direction. I kind of got a looser grip on my hands today, so I don't know, it just felt kind of natural to just kind of swim through it rather than being a little bit more rigid. All right, and then we'll come back to center. Keep those hands clasped. We're gonna send the backs of the hands forward, let your shoulder blades round as though they were kind of cupping forward. We're gonna flip those hands. If it feels okay, rise up, in breath. Good, out breath, reflip. Hands to belly, inhale, lift the spine. Good, 2 more. So we round out, flip to rise, reflip to lower, hands to belly, in breath. Good, last one. Round out, flip to rise, out breath, hands to belly, in breath. All right, be back in the center. Any little adjustments? And where are we going next? Let's go with our head motions. Right hand to the heart space. We connect with that heart. We're gonna sweep it across the chest. Inhale, open, gaze right. Swim back across, gaze left. Out breath to the right again. Back across, gaze left. Next time we head out to the right, let's stop there. You're gonna take hold of the left side of your seat or your left thigh and reach that right arm up and over. Allow the left shoulder to drop out of the ear. And you could keep the gaze forward or perhaps take it down towards the left. One more breath, press your right sit bone towards your seat. Almost like you could stretch in the opposite direction. And then exhale, we meet back in the center. Any little adjustments? Heading off to the other side, so left hand to your chest space. And we begin again on the left. So inhale, open, reach left, look left. Slide back across, gaze right. 2 more. Last time open, we're gonna hold it there. Take hold of the right side of your seat or your right thigh and start to reach that left arm up. Again, you could keep gazing forward or you could take your gaze down to the right. One more breath, reaching left sit bone down as you reach up, almost like you could get a little bit more space from hip to rib cage. And exhale, we'll meet back in the center. I got a hitch in my giddy up on that left shoulder. All right, let's continue with a few spinal motion. So we'll find our hip swivels or hula. So I like to be a little bit scooched forward in the front of the seat if it's available to you. We're gonna head over to one sit bone, forward towards the front, over to the other sit bone, and then back towards the tailbone. Think like a very slow hula move. There's little areas of your low back that feel good, kind of either stretching into or away from. Just take notice and explore. And become a little bit more centered and a little bit more centered and a little bit more centered. And we come back to center, and then you're gonna head the other direction. So over to one sit bone, forward, side, and back. Keep breathing consciously. And I'll start to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, until we come back to center. All right. Meet me in the middle. Where are we going next? I felt like we did everything, almost. We're gonna do a little bit of core work here before we get into some of our stretches. So if it's available to you, to slide your left foot out and bring your right arm forward. And then we come back to center. And if moving the legs isn't available to you, just move through the arms and go through the mindful movement of lifting the leg. And we're coming back. So you keep going. I'm just going to show this from the side because you want to try to keep the back as still as you can, as straight as you can, versus every time I lift, I kind of go into this. You can always leave one foot on the floor too, as a different version. Okay, one more to each, almost there. All right, come back to center. We'll make any little adjustments. Oh! All right, let's go into a child's pose here before we head into our side legs. Get that something below you if you have, or you can stop at your legs. So we start here, and that might be your stop point. You could go to some surface that's between your legs, like a block or a book or a step stool. You know this by now, right? Full breath in wherever you've chosen to stop. Exhale, mouth open, relax your jaw. One more. All right, and slowly begin to rise back up. Your head's the last thing to join you at the top. All right. If you've got a strap or you would like to use a strap, you can always go without and just place the legs. We're gonna drop the right leg out a little bit away from the left. Toes are coming towards you if that's available, and creating some kind of opening of your legs, whatever is available for your body this morning. Sitting up tall, we're going to hinge off to that right side of it, and we'll start our sunrise sunsets. So we gaze down towards the right, start to sweep it up and over, painting the sky. Gaze to the left, back and across. Gaze down to the right. Turn the palm up and draw the shoulder blade back. That bow and arrow. Send it through again. 2 more. Keep moving if this feels comfortable for you. I'm just going to show a different version that's more from the elbow. So if the shoulder is bothering you, you can still get the movement. Next time we end up in bow and arrow here, we're going to extend that arm out, I think. And we'll gaze to the left. Maybe just bend that elbow a little bit. Turn the palm up. One more breath. Where's your contentment point? Our exhale will rise back up. Ooh, make any little adjustments. Swing that leg back in and switch sides. Either going with a strapped foot or without, but try to create some opening of your legs here that's different than where you normally sit. Sitting up tall, we'll hinge off to that left side. Start our sunrise sunsets. Sweeping across the sky, gaze out to the right. Back and across, gaze down to the left. Flip the palm up and draw the shoulder blade back. Heading through 2 more times. Again, choose the bent elbow version if the shoulder is not happy with this movement. All right, once we get back to our bow and arrow, we're going to extend that arm out to the right, gaze out to the right. Maybe just bend that elbow a little bit with the palm up. You're still pressing through your sit bones to lift that spine up. One more breath. And on your next exhale, we'll come back up to center. Doesn't feel like so much work, but it does. Okay, make any little adjustments. And now let's meet back in seated mountain pose. Palms up on the thighs. I don't know, this just came to me. Never done this before. We're gonna press the backs of the hands down to the thighs. So you're gonna get a little bit of a workout into your upper back. Press those hands down. Just enough effort, okay? For 3, 2, 1. Release. All right. It's a good one, I think. Pretty easy to do, I think. Let's head into our warrior 2s. So let's take the left leg out, the right leg is also out. So again, create some separation in your legs. We'll meet here in the center. All right, I'm gonna slide across that imaginary pond. Fingers facing forward, trickle across, gaze out to the right. Lift the palms up, lift the arms to their best ability. Pause, maybe palms touch. Reflip, palms down, gaze out to the right. Trickle across the pond. Palms together and we're back in the center. 2 more. Slide it out, trickle across. Gaze right. Palms up. Reach to the sky, in breath. Perhaps the palms touch. Turn them back down. Warrior 2. Trickle across. And back to center. Last one, we're going to hold it out there into our warrior 2 arms. So let's pause here with palms up, elbows a little bit bent, like you're holding something precious in your hands. You can cup those hands. Steady breath, we're still lifting up from those sit bones. When we're ready, we're going to drop and turn the back palm, face it down, take it down the back leg, and start to reach that front arm to the sky. You could certainly bend at the elbow or even just keep the hand on the thigh. Add a mudra if you like. I'd like to add my index finger to thumb here. Last breath in. Out. We're back to warrior two. Palms up. Turn the palms down, trickle across. Meet me back in the center. Ooh, all right. Let's help that leg back in. Make any little adjustments. I know some of those back and shoulder muscles need a little shake out. So, okay, we're off to the other side. Right leg is out straight, the left leg is bent. Yes, yes. Here we go, meeting in the center. Slide it forward. Trickle across. You're gazing out to the left. Lift the palms up towards the sky. Maybe they touch. Then we head back down. Knees out to the left. Trickle across. Be back in the center. Another full one before we hold. So out. Trickle. Gaze left. Palms slip. Rise up. Tap. Back to warrior two, arms gazing left. Trickling across. Meeting in the center. Okay. This next time out, we hold into warrior two. Same thing to get there. Flip the palms up, let the elbows bend, and cup the hands slightly like you're holding something precious, gazing out to the left. Where's your contentment point? Just enough effort, not too much. We'll flip the back hand, face it down. Start to lift that front arm to the sky. It's more of a little bit of a back bend here if that's okay for you, and you can always bend the elbow. I think I'm going to bend it on this side for myself. Add a mudra if you like. One more breath. We come back through warrior two, reaching. Palms down. Trickle back across. Meet in the center. All right, let's help those legs back in. Be in our mountain pose, so make any little adjustments. Palms are going to be up on the thighs, backs of the hands down. You're going to press down into your thighs with your hands and draw the shoulder blades back. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Give in, release. All right. We're going to move towards standing if you are able to or would like to. And if you're not going to standing, at least go through the actions or the contractions to get there. So feet about hip width apart. I'm going to lean in a bit. Draw the chin in, and either hands to thighs, chair, or free. Please be safe getting to rising if you're going there. If not, just squeeze those tush muscles. Please get there slowly if you are coming with me. More in camera here. I'm going to move the chair. I've got the chair in front of me now if you want it for a little extra support. And if you're staying in seated or standing, we're taking those legs out wide. Out wide. Okay, starfish. Either holding onto the chair or not. Lifting up, open up from the shoulders, collarbones, all the way out to the fingertips. So it's not just a forearm rotation, it's actually rotating from the whole chest. In breath to rise, out breath to come back. If you are standing, just don't lock those knees out. A little bit of bend. Last one. Release the arms back down. Shoulder rolls. We're going to head into seaweed now. Some of you might like to do, how we used to do it, where we just seaweed out, but I've just been showing a different version where we hold onto the chair with one side. So if I'm lifting my left arm up, I'm going to look down to the right. Come back to center. I'm lifting my right arm up, I'm looking down to the left. If you feel safe and comfortable enough to let go with both arms, you're welcome to. Last one. All right, we come back to center. Let's heel toe or bring those feet back in. We meet in mountain pose. So seated or standing, feet underneath your, well, yes, feet in line with your hips or knees, palms facing out. You're gonna open up like your thighs are pressing out and like your arms are pressing out into some invisible force. Ooh. Got the nose horn going. All right. I'm gonna shift my chair, but you don't need to if you are standing. All right, so we're gonna go into those chair poses. If you are seated, you are going through the motion of lifting the arms still and leaning into this. Here we go. Rising up, we're gonna greet the sky in breath. Gonna sit back as though you're sitting into a chair, but please don't go all the way. In breath, out breath, we rise back up. In at the top, release the arms down, exhale. Keep going if that feels safe. I'm gonna show with a hand hold. Wait, so hold on, inhale, exhale. In breath here, out breath to rise. In breath at the top, release down, out breath. Rise up in, out breath, sit. In breath, out breath to rise. Out breath, release the arms. One more, you decide what version you're taking. If you're in seated, you're doing this little lean forward if you can. In breath, out breath. All right, shake it off. Meet me in mountain pose. Seated or standing, thighs are pressing out, arms are active. All right. I'm gonna hold on to the chair for this, or if you're in seated, you're gonna go through the motion of at least trying to move your feet into pointing and flexing. So we're gonna go up onto the toes, come back down to ground and shift back into the heels. Now this backward one is the one where people tend to go too far back, so just don't overdo here. In breath, toes, out breath, heels. If you're seated and moving your feet isn't available, you can kind of actively do your hands like this too as you're trying to do your feet. Two more. And you could always do without holding on if that's safe for you. Okay, back to center, shake it off. All right, chairs to the right side of me if you are in standing. Okay, so let's bring the right leg forward. So if you're in seated or standing, right leg is a little bit forward, left leg is back. Okay, here we go. If you're in standing, you're bending that front knee, and if seated or standing, you're lifting one arm or both arms. And if you're going to challenge your balance here, the gaze goes up when you lift up, the gaze goes down when you lower down. And I would try that first, keeping one hand on the chair. If that feels pretty steady, we got two more. You could try reaching both arms. Moving the head just throws you off, just not today, okay? Not today. Here we go. Once we get up again, we're gonna pause there. You can add your mudra in. Add your mudra, soften your arms. You can always be holding on. One more breath. All right, Both those arms back down, straighten that front leg, and we'll step it back or bring both feet back to center. Any little adjustments, and we're meeting a mountain, seated or standing, those thighs and arms are pressing out active. All right, release. So, taking the right foot out towards the chair if you're in standing, and right leg is gonna, if you're in seated, right leg is gonna be your bent one, left leg is gonna be your straight one. We're bending in. Take the left hand and reach it out. If you feel safe enough to reach the right arm forward, you may. And if your gaze is towards the screen and you want to slowly in little increments, take it out to the right, your gaze to the right. We're going to flip the palms. I think it's just a little more, well, if it's not comfortable for you, keep them down, but I'm going to flip them. And we're going to do that little reach forward. So we reach forward, and then we're back to center. And you can always bend the elbows here too if the shoulders are getting tired. Because we got about 4 more minutes of this. Just kidding. Last one, I promise. All right, we meet back in the center. Let's drop those arms down, straighten that front leg just for a moment, and make any little adjustments because we're staying here for 2 more poses. Okay, bending in again. And you're either keeping the hand on the chair, or if you have a chair where you can lean into it and keep the body long, so not just collapsing. Good. Take the left hand to the lower right belly, rib cage. And then start to sweep it open. You can extend all the way through that arm. You can keep a bent elbow. You can even keep it down. Finding your contentment point. Get my head straight here. There we go. Steady breath. Okay, bring that elbow back in by your side. Sweep it across the belly to the lower rib cage. And then exhale, push back up. All right, we got 1 more round here on this side, so stay with me if you can. Triangle pose. This time, both legs relatively straight. Extend those arms out. And we start to control our lean towards that chair. Now everybody's got different size chairs, so you could actually be holding on to it. You might be able to let go and put it on your front thigh. And the knee is just a wee bit bent, okay? This is a tough one to hold on to. 1 more breath. Okay. And then we're gonna exhale, rise back up. All right, heel toe or step it in. Bring your feet back to center, seated or standing mountain. Thighs are actively pressing out, arms are pressing out. All right, let's do a little dynamic tree pose. So either seated or standing. Your left knee is going to be the one that's going to be rotating out. So if you are, well, just wherever you are, try to spread your toes out, even if it's just imagining that's happening. You're going to start to rotate the left knee out, and the left arm is going to come out. And then we bring the arm and the hand back to center. Maybe a belly tap. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to center. If you want to challenge your balance, you can take your gaze out to the left slowly. And then back to center, slowly. You could also be letting go of the chair too if you're standing. Next time we open up, we're going to hold it there. So we're going to be, I don't know, kind of a willow tree here. I guess a willow would be down here. Some kind of tree with some low branches. One last breath. Can you lift that chest just a little bit higher? All right, and we come back to center. Lovely. Shake out those legs. Meet me in mountain. One last breath here before we downward dog it. Okay. So we're downward facing dog or child's pose if you're in seated. So facing the surface that you're going to use, stepping back, trying to keep that back flat. Legs can be out about a hip width or even a little bit wider. Starting to send it back. Contrary to maybe reports that you heard, if I'm bending like this and I have osteoporosis, it should be safe. If I was bending like that, maybe not so much. Keep there for one more breath. I'm just showing a higher version if you want to try it out. Okay, if you're still with me, you can start to walk slowly forward if you're in standing, and if you're in seated, slowly coming up. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch the chair over. You might need to do that as well. All right, so the left leg is going to come forward. So offsetting if you're in seated. Left foot forward, right leg back. Ready to go? Here we go. If you're in standing, you're bending that left knee. Maybe starting with reaching the right arm up, looking up, and then as you bring it down, look down. If you feel like you can do both arms, maybe if you're in seated, it might be a little easier to do both arms. Yeah, 2 more. Follow your own rhythm, don't wait for me. Next time up, we hold it. I might be lifting both arms. I might have one arm down. I might even be here. Kind of mudra if you like. One more breath. Find your contentment point. Push that air back down. Straighten the front leg if it's not already. And meet back in the center. Seated or standing mountain pose active. All right. We're going to our 3 pose series here with the left leg out. If you're in seated, that left leg is going to be your bent leg. Well, all of us. Left leg is going to be your bent leg. Your right leg is your straight one. Bending into the front knee if you're in standing, and maybe putting it up against that chair. Right arm swings out. If you feel safe, let go. Left arm swings out. You're gazing towards the screen, and you slowly, incrementally take your gaze out towards the left. We're going to flip those palms, and we're going to start our reach forward. And then we come back to center. Now if holding onto the chair feels safer, you're still doing the same. If you're in seated, of course, it's the same. I think one more. Alright, we come back. Pause. Release those arms, straighten the front leg, make any little adjustments. Okay. We'll bend in. I know for some it's hard to keep the legs like this for a long time, so you can always just step it in for a second and then bring it back out. Okay, we're bending into that left knee again if it's not already there. And either holding onto the chair here or heading down towards your forearm. Still keeping the body long. Right hand to the lower left rib cage or belly, and then start to sweep it open. With that extension of the arm, follow. And again, you can always have the elbow bent or just drop the arm. If you're looking towards the screen, you can slowly, incrementally take your gaze to the right. One more breath. Good. Right hand back down towards the lower left belly. And until we rise back up. Any little adjustments before we head to our triangle? This time, both legs are relatively straight. Reaching out. And then we control our lean towards that chair. And again, you can have the elbows bent too, it doesn't really matter. Form of movement. This front hand could be on the chair, holding on to it. It could be down on your thigh. Belly skin's drawing in every time you exhale. Okay, we're going to bend that front knee a little bit, drop those arms, and then we'll rise back up. Woo, we made it. Let's heel toe or step it in a bit. Make any adjustments to meet in mountain. One breath. All right. Yes, we did everything on that side, I hope. We're going to do our tree pose here, dynamic tree. So your left knee is going to be the one that's rolling out. Wherever you are, spreading out the toes of your left foot. Hand to the belly. As we roll the knee out, the arm is going to roll out too. And then we come back. You feel safe enough to look out towards the right as you reach to the right. Bring it back to center as you come back to center. If letting the chair go of the chairs in your wheelhouse today, you may try it or just hover the hand. On this last time out, we're going to hold it there. I'm going to snug my foot a little closer to my other foot. And if you feel like letting go is in your wheelhouse today, give it a try. If not, keep holding. Two more breaths. Stay with me. Find your contentment point. Whew. Let it go. We're going to come back in. You can make a little adjustments. We got a mountain pose before we come into either down dog or child's. All right. Find your spot where you're going to down dog or child's pose if you're seated. Again, walking back, feet are maybe a little wider than your hips. And keep the knees bent. That'll help the back stay flat too. Be safe with your practice. Flat backs for those with osteoporosis, please. All right, if you're ready, we're all slowly rising up. Your head's the last thing to join you at the top, please. Give yourself a moment to equalize. And then we're going to come back to our seated position if you're not there already. We can come down in a conscious way if you want to practice. Feet about hip width apart. Whether you're seated or standing, you're going to lean in, sit back. Make sure that chair's there, please. Slowly come down. Right. Let's take your straps again if you're using them. Right leg is going to be out in the front. Again, if you are, it's available on your, you have that hip crease there, you can scooch forward a little front in your seat. Toes coming towards you, heel away, sitting up tall. That could be your contentment point. If contentment would be going a little bit farther, you're welcome to. Relax those jaws, eyes, shoulders. You stay where you are. I'm just going to show the side version of that. Side view, I should say. Jaws are relaxed. One more breath in. And out, lift you back up. Ooh, very dramatic music. All right, let's switch sides. I'm doing something very grand right then. Okay, so toes are coming towards you, heels away if that's available. Sitting up tall, that could be your contentment point. If hinging forward would feel more content, then you may head there. Get shift to the side, but you don't have to move. Let that chin just draw down a little bit versus reaching with it. Shoulders, jaws relaxed. One more breath in. And your out picks you back up. All right. We'll head into our figure 4 or seated pigeon or thread the needle or however you think of it. Let's start with your right leg. If it's available, bring your ankle towards your thigh. Otherwise, do a crossover, different version. I'm going to get my hips up a little bit higher. It's just, you might want to do the same if you've got a pillow to sit on. Great. We sit up tall, and then maybe you hinge forward. Watch for that chin being your leading. Let your kind of your forehead be your leader. Shoulders, jaws, all relaxed. It's part of your practice. In breath. Your out breath gets you back up. And you may either cross that leg over, sitting cross-legged in the chair, or uncross it if that feels better. Take the right hand to the side of the chair. We're going to reach the left arm up. And then exhale, turn towards your right. So left hand comes to the outside of those thighs. And the rotation coming from the upper chest, upper back. Breath, breathing into your left side gills if you have them. We'll meet back in the center. And cross. We'll recross other sides, so you're either taking the high road or the low road. One is not better than the other, it's just what you can do today. Sitting up tall wherever you are. Leaning in if that feels great. And then again, leading from maybe the center of the eyebrows rather than your chin. What are those shoulders doing? Are they trying to come forward with you? Have an in breath, and on our out breath, we'll meet back up. You're either crossing all the way over, or you can remain uncrossed. You take the left side of the chair with the left hand, reach the right arm up to get taller. And then we'll wrap that over the left thigh, coming into that rotation. Again, it's more of an upper chest opening rather than me kind of wrenching into my low back. One more breath into those right side gills if you have them. We'll be back in the center. We can uncross. Here we are. Perfect. End with a little hug. So expand those arms, whatever that means for you. Gather up all the goodness and wrap it around yourself. Full breath in and out. Expand, open, gather up all the goodness. Switch the other arm on top. Wrap it around yourself and snuggle in. Full breath. Inhale, gathered up one last time. Meet palms together in the center, just where we started. Alright, we got our bit of relaxation, or shavasana as they call it, as we call it. So you can have your, well, you all know by now. I don't have to explain it to you, but if you're new with me, sometimes it's nice to have something underneath your feet. And maybe something underneath your arms like a pillow. If you haven't tried that, I might try it. It just feels like it's less weight of your upper body and your arms dragging you down, and it just feels kind of nice to snuggle in. You can choose to just sit in your chair and be comfortable. Okay. I will take us through a brief guided relaxation. You will rest for some quiet. And then I'll take you, you'll hear the 3 bells, 1, 2, 3 chimes. And we'll slowly come out, end with a mudra, gratitude. Great. Resting in your space, eyes open or closed in a steady gaze, whatever helps you to tune in and tune out to the distractions. And we consciously let go of those muscles of thinking and planning and worrying. Skin of the forehead smoothing out. Sending that wave rippling to the space between your eyebrows as it broadens and softens. To your eyes that become heavier. To your temples that find ease. To the joint of your jaw. Space between your teeth. Shoulder blades resting out of your ears. Completely supported by the surface behind you and below you. Whenever your mind starts to wander, that is your cue. Bring it back to wherever you feel your breath moving in and moving out. You got nowhere to be and nothing to do. These next few moments are yours. Breath becoming a bit more conscious. Feel the flow and opening of the belly space, the middle ribs, the space around your heart. Full inhalation. Full exhalation, nice and slow. Movement as you prefer. You may already be enjoying it. I always take you through some. You don't have to do anything. You may strum the tip of the thumb along the tip of each finger. As though you were noticing your fingerprint for the very first time. Maybe curling in the toes and the fingers and contracting the body on an in-breath and then releasing it on an out-breath. Maybe rolling wrists or ankles. Snap, crackle, pop. Maybe rocking the head side to side. I know you all have your favorites, but I just want to suggest in case you're new, maybe a cat stretch or a dog stretch. Oh! Before you come to a more upright position, or maybe a knee to a chest. All right. And we'll meet with the seat in your seat and your feet on some surface in the back away from the chair if you like, or maybe a pillow behind you to support that upright position. Let's see. This week's mudra is Padma mudra or Lotus mudra. So inside hands are touching. I guess that's the outside hands. Your pinkies to your thumbs. It's the inside right now. Other fingers are outstretched like the petals of a lotus flower. And the thumbs can either be connected to your center space, your chest space, or they could be away from it, your choice. Shoulders dropped out of the ears, eyes open or closed, your choice. Next breath in, as we breathe in, you're going to float those fingers skyward, inhaling gratitude. So you're trying to take in every morsel of gratitude inside of you. Next breath, breathing in compassion. Third and final breath, community or communion, breathing in every morsel. From here, we can close down into Namaste hands if you'd like, or Anjali mudra, or maybe right hand over heart, left hand over that, whatever is most authentic for you for gratitude. What's one more thing in your life that you can be grateful for in this moment? Mine is always a rattling. I can never stop at one. Let's end offering that gratitude out, offering it beyond the walls that you're in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Palms coming together, holding on to that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. I'll finish and close this out with an Om. If you want to join in, you may. Let's start. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. A slow breath into Om. And we breathe in. And we breathe out, lips apart. Namaste. Spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Thank you all so much for being here and taking time out of your lives so that you can spread that compassion, gratitude, and community towards those around you. All right, I'll come closer. Say goodbyes if you want, or just make your exit.